get started. Generating income with AIU. Basically, you're a student at AIU. Part of getting a degree is you have to pay for that degree. It's just that's just a natural thing about education. Basically, AIU is here to make sure that you get the learning and the education you need for your career. We want to make sure that your knowledge is, we want to make sure that you have a great knowledge to move forward with your life in your career. That's basically it. So you're taking the courses you need to take, you're learning the subjects you need to learn, you're developing your ideas, you're developing your vision, you're developing your mind and your capabilities and skills for a future job or future work that you want to do. And for most of you, that means more income. But you need income now in order to get that degree to make more income. So let's look at this. You are a business, okay? Each one of you is a business in the sense that you are offering your services or your products to an organization, to your clients, to whoever. You are a business. You're developing your business so that when you do your work, you receive money. Now, even if you are an employee in a corporation, you're still a business. You're still giving your services to that corporation and they're paying you, even though they're paying you a salary or a wage, they're still paying you. So you are representing yourself as your own business always. You got to keep that in mind, in the sense that whenever you need money, you are the business. You are the one that will do the work to make yourself money. So we will look here, with your AI degree, you will make more money, right? This is a strong reason for having a degree. Our graduates are already making more money. They're finding jobs, they've increased their responsibilities, they're making more money. So the cost of your degree is a business investment in yourself because you are the business. Your goal is to make profits from your work, but more importantly, to increase the profits from your work. So whatever work you're doing, you're always looking towards the future to saying, what more work can I do to have more profits from my work? So your AI degree is one part of generating more income for yourself and your family. The other part is you want to obtain that degree. So you have to invest in the time for you have to invest in the time as being a student to obtain that degree. Once you get that degree, you earn more money. You can continue to do more education, more professional development. You can continue to increase your capabilities and your knowledge to make even more money. You are a business that is growing. This is the idea. Each one of you is a business that is growing. That is the key point here. You are a business and your business is growing. The more you grow, the more money you make. The more money you make, basically, that's better for your community. Your community is getting stronger because you're getting stronger. Your work is making your community more productive. This is how it turns around. You don't need to move. You don't need to travel. You don't need to go all over the world looking for a job. You can find work exactly where you live because you have a computer. And through the computer, you're going to be able to find amazing work. You don't always need a computer or the internet to find amazing work. But in the world we live in right now, there's some great opportunities for finding work through the internet. So we're going to be talking about that. So that we come to that question here at the bottom of this slide. What can you do to make money to pay for your AIU degree? because you have to invest in that degree in order to make that profit that you want from your work, from your life, from who you are, from your knowledge. Okay, you get this idea. You are the business. So you really what you're doing here is that you're having a professional plan, and you must have a professional plan. A professional plan describes how you will reach your ultimate goal, what kind of job you want, what kind of money you want to make. You're not able to reach your ultimate goal instantly, right? It takes time. You have to do it step by step. So you take these various steps along the way to reach that ultimate goal you have. Right now, in order to get your degree, you have to pay the tuition. So you do the work you need to pay that tuition. Then once that tuition is paid, then you get the degree, then you move on to even higher income. So these are steps that you take. So therefore, as a student at AIU, you will work enough to pay for the degree. Then when you complete your degree, you will make even more money, right? You get the idea. So in this way, you reach the ultimate goal step by step according to your plan. Your educational plan with AIU is only one part of your professional plan. So think about that. Your professional plan is your primary plan, your career, the job you will get, the job that you want, the job that you're reaching for. Part of getting to that job is education. So education is part of your professional plan. Your primary goal right now is not the degree from AIU. Your primary goal is what you will do with that degree once you have it. That's your primary goal. So you're working on your professional plan. You're studying, you're developing your knowledge. You're doing these, you're generating income in order to feed this plan so that you can reach the ultimate plan so you can get that secure job with a degree. Okay, I don't see any questions yet into chat. I would think that you all are thinking, okay, yeah, I understand. I need to make money to make more money. That's kind of just a natural principle of business. You need to invest money to make money. Yeah, that's a natural principle of business. So, okay. I just want it to be clear in your minds. You have a professional plan. Everything you're doing is part of your profession so that you can offer your services and get money, earn money for your work. You're not going to earn money with your studies at AIU, right? You don't earn money through your studies at AIU unless you have a job and you're using your job as your research project to create your assignments to develop more knowledge. So if you already have a job and you want to keep that job, but you want to make your job even better, then what you're really doing here is increasing your profits from your work by increasing your education. But your studies at AIU do not produce income. They will produce income once you get that degree. Okay, I want to make that just completely clear. Now, let's move on. So, what are some things that you need? What do you need to make money? So here are some basic resources to think about. I'll get to your questions here in a second. Artificial intelligence. We're going to take this idea of generating income to another level. It's not like just going out and working in a restaurant or going into a store and working in a store. You have other opportunities that you can do in your home to make money. Artificial intelligence. You learn how to use it. It's available in your student sections. You can actually go into ChatGPT in your student sections, ask questions, get the information that you need to generate a business, to create a business. There's just so many things you can do with ChatGPT. I was watching a video with some people who do fundraising in the United States. And they thought, well, this ChatGPT is a new thing. Let's see if we can get it to create a fundraising letter for us. Because that's basically what they do. They write letters and then send those letters to people trying to get funding for their projects. That's what a fundraiser does. So they thought, can ChatGPT write for us a letter to request funds for these projects that we have? Well, they sat there asking ChatGPT, please write a letter for fundraising for this type of project. And ChatGPT would kick back a letter and they'd read it and go, wow, this is actually pretty good. And ChatGPT actually gave a name to the project that they thought was wonderful. That was a big surprise to them. And there were a few things about the letter they didn't like, so they asked ChatGPT to write those things again. And ChatGPT came back with a response. And all of a sudden they realized, this is actually pretty good. So in the hour it took them to write that letter, one of them said, it would have taken me 8 hours to write this letter. And ChatGPT wrote this letter in less than an hour. And it's probably better than what I would have written. So artificial intelligence makes you incredibly productive. It makes you work faster. It makes you work better. But you're ultimately the one telling it what to do, and you're ultimately the one accepting or rejecting what information it gives you. But it is incredibly powerful to help you create whatever business you want. You just say, I want to start a business doing such and such. What advice can you give me? And it gives you some ideas. And then you look at it and say, well, I don't really understand this one piece of advice that you're giving me. Can you give me some more detailed information about it? ChatGPT will come back and say, well, let me explain a little clearer. And then it'll explain better for you. And then you really begin to understand from ChatGPT what you need to do to start a business and generate income. Okay, so artificial intelligence. So to get artificial intelligence, you're going to have an internet connection. You're also going to have a good computer. This is your basic tool to interact with the world. And there's lots of job opportunities out there on the internet. So you have to learn how to use your computer to make money, and you look for opportunities in your own community. So you want to generate income? You have opportunities around the world through the internet, and you're going to have also opportunities with your own family and your own community. You have opportunities there. You probably know already that some opportunities just aren't very viable. So you're going to have to just decide, where do you want to work? Internationally on the internet or in your local community? Okay, so let's start looking through some of these ideas. So what can you do to make money? A lot of people are freelancing on the internet. That's basically what it's called when you're working on the internet, selling your services. You're freelancing. It's like the gig economy. There are people out there that need help, and you're there to help them. And then you set up a contract, they send you money, you send them the product, you send them your services. That's freelancing. It's growing. It's available everywhere in the world. Anyone in the world can participate. As you finish a job, you get money sent directly to you. That's freelancing. Jay, one of our lecturers for our live classes, has done 6 or 7 classes about freelancing on the internet. So if you go to the AIU the AIU YouTube channel on the webpage YouTube, if you go to there onto the Atlantic International University YouTube channel, go to videos, you'll see a lot of these live classes. Just do a search through the videos for freelancing, and you'll see the videos and watch them, because Jay will give you a lot of great information. So you can provide services on the internet. You can export products to other countries. Just this week, one of our graduates who lives in Nigeria, who's been an entrepreneur for many years, more than a decade, he is looking toward, there's a trade agreement now being developed between the Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, and some other countries. And so he's developing businesses that want to import and export in that trade zone. And so he's there to help people develop their businesses. And so I talked with him and I said, if we have other students that have some business ideas, can they contact you? And he said, absolutely. If any of the students at Atlantic International University have ideas for products and services that they want to trade between countries or even within Nigeria or so, he's there as an expert entrepreneur to help your ideas. Everything from schools to natural resources to product, just shipping products from one country to another, or developing businesses within your own country. So I think if you wanted to get in touch with him, you'd have to get in touch with me, and then I would be the one to connect you. That would be the best way to do it, because I wouldn't want to just give his information out to everybody. You have to show some interest and you have to show some focus for the project that you want to do. You have to have a plan in order to contact him. So just running through some ideas here, getting you thinking, all right? You can also apply for grant money for a community project, for a business project, for an educational project. There is money out there. We have one student who wanted to clean up rivers. So I connected this student with an organization in the United States who gives money and supplies for people who want to clean up rivers. And I think this was in a country just north of the Ivory Coast, or just north of Ghana. And so I connected them. So we all got together on a Zoom meeting and talked about, a representative from that organization met with the student and I to talk about how that organization could work with the student to help a project to clean up the river in their country. So these are opportunities from networking together. And so ultimately the student applied for grant money from that organization, which included supplies, and then they would send money and supplies to help clean up the river in their country. So these are things that we work on. These are things that we work together on. And if we could, ultimately, if some of our students can come together and form like a committee to help work with students, give them ideas, make connections, to actually do the work, to connect different people with different job opportunities and different job skills, consultants, entrepreneurs, come together, share ideas, and support each other so that you can develop your business ideas. Finding grants, finding international funding around the world, and just developing that kind of skill is really, really valuable, okay? Just being able to work together to form these projects, to help businesses grow, to help bring money into people, it is really valuable. And that's basically what we're doing here, right? We're coming together, getting some ideas on how to generate income. But when it comes down to it, who are we going to work with? Who's going to help us? Where are the connections? Where do I need to go? We come together and we help. Now, you can always find small jobs within your community, right? If you can find them. Sometimes you can't find work in your own community for whatever reason. Many people have different reasons where, some people say, well, there really aren't any jobs in my community available that allow me to go to school or study. So it's because of the economy where you live. People say, I just can't find small jobs. Well, then you go to the internet. But if you can find a small job, that just adds to your income. And also there's unknown opportunities. There's opportunities out there that you don't even know about yet. And this is the thing, is that you have to kind of get involved on the internet and use the internet in a productive way. So I mean by that is, okay, if you're talking with family and friends, that's productive for your family and friends. But at the same time, you want to make the internet productive for your professional plan. That's where I'm going on this, is you're on a professional plan. Use the internet to discover your opportunities. And each one of these things that you do is going to take time and effort. It just doesn't happen instantly. You got to be patient. You got to put in the effort. And you got to keep making changes so that your chances increase of making more money. But you have people to support you and help you to make it easier for you. We here at Atlantic International University, the tutors and I, and the other advisors, we're here to help you. If you have questions, just ask. We'll do what we can to get you connected and moving forward. Give you the ideas, give you the resources, give you links, give you the resources that you need to keep moving forward. All right? Okay. So if you need artificial intelligence, it's in your students section. But you also have it here at openai.com. So here's some different, these are probably the best ones that I've found and that Jay has found on the internet for freelancing. Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, peopleperhour.com, writers.work. So this is, you go to these sites and there's opportunities for you to make money to do work. And then you receive money for your work. Jay, I think, gives the best information about how to use these websites, how to present yourself, to make, he's saying things like, you want to make sure you're always available on the internet because you could have a job request come in at any point in time and you have to be ready. You have to be ready when the job request comes in. So if you're gone 6 hours during the day, you may lose. If you're not next to your computer receiving these job requests, you may lose a couple of job requests because you're just not at your computer. So there's certain things about your lifestyle that make this easier to do. If you're at home all day and the computer's just sitting there, turn on the computer. Apply for some jobs on these freelancing sites. When a job comes in, go to your computer, sit down, respond. You just keep it open. And when a job comes in, you're ready to respond and you can get the job. It's things to think about here. And the writers work, this writers work down here, writers.work. That's really good because people look for people who can do writing. And if you can do writing from your perspective, you have opportunities that other people don't have. You'll find out when you go there that there's all kinds of writers, and there's not one writer who's the best writer who can solve everybody's need. You can find that you are the best person to do the writing for that particular job. because there's different jobs available for writing. And you may find that these types of jobs are the best ones for you, and people will want you because you can do the best writing for them, because that's the type of writing that you do, and that's the type of writing that they want. So you have to explore your niche, your place in this freelancing world. What services can you offer? What skills do you have? Let's continue on, because we're just scratching the surface here of what's available out there. So here's just a couple of quick ideas for you. Is writing biographies. And writing a biography is something you can do for family, friends, people in your community. You could even work up a contract for grant funding to write biographies for the 20 most important people in your community, right? You could have a contract from the government to write the 20 biographies for the 20 most important people in the community. You can give them a list and say, I want to write biographies for each one of these people. And they'll give you money. So this would be a great store of knowledge to have for the legacy of our community, to have biographies written about each one of these important people in our community. And so maybe the library or the government or some organization will say, okay, we will pay you money to write biographies. So how do you do a biography? Well, you can do a search on YouTube, how to write a short biography of someone else. And there are lots of videos. You'll see, I don't know, you'll see dozens and dozens of videos about how to write a short biography about somebody else. And it teaches you very quickly how to write it, what you need to write about, what kinds of questions you need to ask, how to outline your book, how to outline the biography, what sort of things to say, what sort of facts do you need about the person's life? How do you want them to describe their achievements? And you'll find videos that teach you exactly how to write biographies. Now, keep in mind, this is just one example. That if you wanted to write biographies, basically, you're going to interview somebody 5 to 10 hours. It may take you 20 hours to write the biography. So let's say it's 30 hours worth of work. Well, how much money do you want to make for 30 hours worth of work? That's how much you're going to charge to do the biography. Depends on how much money you want to make per hour for 30 hours. And that's what you say, this is the price for one biography. And then you interview people for about 5 to 10 hours, then sit down and create the book on your computer. And then you take that book to a printer and they print it out for you. And there you have the book. And then you sell the book and you make your money. But the idea here is that you take this idea of biographies and maybe you say, I don't know how to write a biography. Well, you go to YouTube, you do a search for videos that show you how. Or you go to ChatGPT and say, how do I write a biography about somebody else? What do I need to do? What questions do I need to ask? What should the outline of the book be? And then ChatGPT will come back and answer all of your questions. And then you'll say, oh, okay, I know what to do now. You could say, and then you could ask ChatGPT, say, how much should I charge for writing a biography? How much is a biography worth? And wait for the answer. What does ChatGPT say about how much you should charge to write your biography? You can have like a little conversation with ChatGPT about how much you should charge. And it's just, the artificial intelligence helps you define and plan your business better so that you're charging the right amount and that you're finding your clients. Ask ChatGPT, how can I find clients to write biographies? See, just this one idea about biographies. Think about your own community. Is there anybody even writing communities about the important people in the community anymore? If not, somebody should be. This is a natural part of storytelling from one generation to the next, so that we keep a record of who lived, what they did, and what they contributed to our community. So write biographies. That's just one idea out of millions that you can do. You could paint pictures about the important events in a person's life, not just a portrait, but paint pictures about the important events in their life, when they were born, when they first graduated from school, when they received their first paycheck, when they got married, and the birth of their children. There's just so many things you could paint a picture about. And you can actually even use artificial intelligence to create artwork for you about those moments in a person's life. And then artificial intelligence will create those pictures for you instantly. Then you choose the pictures that you want, and you create like this photo album of the person's life, and you fit those pictures into a biography or whatever, or into a presentation with music. And it becomes this great gift to the person and the family and to the community. And it has value. Somebody will pay you money for it. So you have these opportunities to really develop. And some of you may find that you're going to make a lot of money doing biographies, because all of a sudden there's a lot of people who need biographies or want biographies. And you may end up creating 2 or 3 biographies per week. If all of a sudden you get known for creating beautiful biographies, and it may turn into a full-time job for you. And if it's not the job that you ultimately want, it creates the income that you need for your AIU degree. That's the idea. Let me check the time. I can't actually see the time. Let me check. Okay, have a couple of minutes here. And then I want to talk about something you probably never even heard of, is these role-playing games that people do. There's role-playing games where they have dice and they throw down dice, and they have a story. And in order to figure out what they do in the story, they're rolling dice. Like if they want to find food in the forest, they have to roll a dice. And then if that dice comes up high, they find the food. If they don't find if they roll low with the dice, they don't find the food, right? So that you play out this story using dice, and they're called role-playing games. And the thing about these role-playing games is you have to create stories. And most of the role-playing games that exist right now are based on stories from Europe, Northern Europe. And there are millions of people around the world, from Brazil to Latin America to Australia, New Zealand, to India, to Japan, to Germany, to France, playing these role-playing games. Millions of people are playing these games online. The thing about these games, well, first of all, I want to mention one thing. People in Africa have not really started playing these games yet. This is a huge market that is ready to just explode once someone goes into this market from Africa. Okay? So, in order to run these games, it takes one person to organize the story and then run it for the players. The players will pay this one person to organize the game. And they will pay good money. Seriously, good money. So you're going to see right here at startplaying.games. This is a website for people who want to run these games. So if you want to run a game, they will help find you players who will pay you money to run these games. Now, when you look at the stories that are available right now, I just want to say one thing. You'll see a lot of like monsters and demons and all kinds of crazy things, right? But There are people who are writing stories about culture, traditions, inspirations, the good parts of religion, exploring, finding religion. They're creating stories about life. There's one thing missing from all of these stories being told in these games. It's the legends and traditions and principles from Africa. People, it's just missing. There's some people from the Philippines that created a whole world based on the traditions and legends of the Philippines, and then they're creating games from their traditions from the Philippines. And there's other people around the world from other countries that are creating stories based on their own countries, their own traditions. You're not going to find that yet from anybody in Africa. And so once you develop these stories, I found this one place called thewordrefinery.org. You'll see that link down there. They help people around the world develop stories for these role-playing games. And also they help you develop the story for playing these